Eris Scales with the Walker Legacy Foundation. Thank you for joining us here at CBS 42 to talk about this awesome opportunity for women, Black women entrepreneurs in Birmingham. Tell me how Birmingham was selected for the Women Who Enterprise project.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. We are thrilled to be able to expand our programming into Birmingham. It's kind of twofold. We were actually awarded on our LLC a contract to manage a new minority business center under the Minority Business Development Agency. So we are going to be launching a small business center in Birmingham. But we thought, you know what? That's one thing. That's great. We have an amazing program that works with women entrepreneurs, and we want to make sure that we can bring our programming to Birmingham. So Birmingham became a city that we fell in love with and wanted to add to our portfolio of urban markets that we're working with.
And so I'm going to flip back real quick because the small business center that you'll be launching in Birmingham, tell me about that really quick, and then I want to get into this one.
So I know it's like we have so many hats, but the small business center will actually be at Creed 63, which is a co-working facility that's in the historic business district. That is a facility that's owned and operated as well by a Black woman, Danielle Hines, there in Birmingham. We will be providing counseling services, technical services, working with businesses that are minority owned and led and operated to connect them to additional resources.
That's actually a perfect segue to this particular program for Women Who Enterprise, because how will you support those women through this? It's almost like it's not an internship, but this partnership.
Yeah, we call it an accelerator.
Okay.
We will take 20 women through a 12-week intensive. We will have women really looking at the fundamentals of developing a solid business plan. We are going to provide these women with a business health scorecard so they can know where they stand by way of their financial management, their operational management, and where they need to go. We're going to be really pouring into these women around self-care, mental health, and mental wellness components, which we think are equally important to knowing how to run and operate your business. And then we'll also make sure that these women have opportunities to expand their connections amongst each other, but really pulling into our networks and our peers to get them in front of them to talk about their business and have opportunities to further pitch for funding and additional support for their business. So Women Who Enterprise is fantastic.
So who's the ideal candidate? Because you mentioned funding, and I think that's a key part for a lot of women, especially small business owners, in getting that capital. But who is ideal for it?
Fabulous question, because we wanted to make sure that as we were sharing and promoting this opportunity, that we were articulating and communicating in a way that women who knew exactly, am I ready for this? Am I right for this? I should pursue it. So here's what we recommend. Women who have been in business at least 12 months, ideally 24 months. We want you to not necessarily be aspiring. So, this is not for if you're aspiring or thinking about running a business, but you've been in business. You're looking for additional ways to scale, further sustain your business. Women who really value community and connection, and women who are committed to investing in themselves, right? So to take 12 weeks to really pour into ourselves, that's a substantial investment. And we understand that it requires you taking away time from your business. You may have to take away time from your family, but we want you to take that time for yourself. So you've been in business. Ideally, you've been registered to do business. We're seeking women who are at least 21 years and older, and just ready to scale and ready to really apply practices to sustain that business.
And when you think about the legacy of Madam C.J. Walker and what she did, this is almost like a blueprint, right?
It is the blueprint. And we say, we're inspired by what she was able to accomplish, both from a business standpoint and a philanthropic standpoint. And when we think about the women who come through this program, we want you to be fired up to be the next Madam C.J. Walker. And what was so amazing about her, beyond being the first self-made female millionaire in this country, regardless of race, is that her business was a multiplier, right? So her business allowed other women to go into business. It allowed other women to have independence financially. And so we want to make sure that the women who come through this program are not just receiving for themselves, but how can they ultimately be able to give back to our community and our economy.
And so the important information, how do they apply and when do they need to get it done?
Fantastic. I say apply today, right now. Do not miss this opportunity, Birmingham. We want you in these seats, ladies. The deadline is October 13th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Apply before October 13th. All information can be found on our website at walkerslegacy.org. I encourage people to follow us on social media. And can I please share this one really important nugget?
Yes.
This program is free. So most of these accelerators, most of these business programs, I mean, they start at several hundred, several $1,000s. We have been really fortunate to have amazing sponsors like PayPal, Wells Fargo, the M&T Bank, additional organizations and institutions across the country who are working with us because they understand the need to make sure that Black women are capital ready and that they're receiving the supports that they need for their businesses. So this cohort during the fall has no charge. Don't miss that.
That is very, very important. I think that's good for us. Let me ask just this last question. When a woman is in a business by herself, right, and so at the 12-month to 24-month period as an entrepreneur, this is really that moment for some people that is make or break if they don't get the right type of support. Mm-hmm. So can you speak to that woman who's really, she got into business on her own without having any support. She just had a vision and a dream and she wanted to do it, her passion. But now that kind of rubber meets the road moment by way of encouragement, what is it you say to those women to hang in there?
Yeah, we often state that particularly for Black women, we are oftentimes entrepreneurs out of necessity, right? We have seen even before COVID, but especially with COVID, where we've been forced out of the workforce because of conflicting responsibilities in the home. We've seen where women are deciding, you know what, maybe that environment that I was in was pretty toxic. I want to remove myself from it. I have amazing skills. I have, a great vision and I have a great passion. Let me go into business for myself. And we say, fantastic. Having the skills, having the vision, having the passion is like 99% of what we need, right? But we know that after some time, we need to make sure that we're having those fundamental training skills so that we don't phase out, we don't burn out, we don't fizzle out, we don't get frustrated when the doors get closed, or we know how to show up and we know what the funding opportunities are. We have a community that we can talk to. They talk a lot about entrepreneurship being a lonely place. And this is a beautiful environment where you will have 20 other women, 19 other women like you who are going through the same things that you're going through. You will have an amazing instructor who has an entrepreneurship and a financial management background leading you through that. And, we don't know what we don't know. And so for often, many of us, we go into it, but we haven't had the opportunities to have some of those business core skills and the training and the connections and the network to make sure that we're most successful. So this is, we have 3 different tiers of our accelerator programs. This is the first. And our goal is that you come into this one, you learn some things, you apply some things, you come back a couple years later, you go to the next level, and you continue to scale up.
Somebody walking side by side with you. Eris Scales with the Walker's Legacy Foundation, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.